Homa Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurinmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarane Trinadapi Sunichena Tarar Iva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Hare Nama Hare Nama Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Gopi Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jasodanandana Gopi Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya 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 Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe. As you know, I am very happy to do these programs. These programs are my life and soul. So whenever I get an opportunity, I feel very, very happy. The word in Sanskrit, prasanatma. Very, very satisfied. So I thank Shrilesh Ji for arranging this. And I thank all of you who attend week after week. I bless you that Krishna gives you supreme happiness and peace. So we're finishing up chapter 11 of the Bhagavad-gita. Chapter 11 was entitled The Vision of the Universal Form. The chapter opened by Arjuna requesting Krishna, I want to see your Vishva Rupa, your Virat Rupa, your cosmic form. And Krishna said, yes, I will show you, but with your eyes that you have now, you cannot see. I have to give you special eyes with which to see. I give the example. In order to access the internet, you have to have the password code for the Wi-Fi. If no password code, no Wi-Fi. So to see universal form, Krishna has to give you the access, and he has to give you the eyes with which to see. So then Krishna displayed his universal form. Sanjaya described this to Dhritarashtra, what Arjuna saw. Then initially, Arjuna offered beautiful prayers describing what he was seeing. But then Arjuna ended his prayers by asking a question. Who are you and what is your mission? And the universal form replied, Time I am, destroyer of the world. So that is the universal form. It is time, and it is destroying everything in this material world. And then Krishna spoke something very important. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. He wanted Arjuna to become an instrument in the fight. When Arjuna was seeing now this universal form, he was seeing all the Kauravas smashed, being chewed up by the mouths of the universal form. And Krishna told Arjuna, except for you 5 Pandavas, all the soldiers on both sides are not going home. They're all going to be killed by the end of this battle. But the universal form, Krishna said, Arjuna, I want you to take the credit. I want you to be my instrument. I gave the example last class. How here we have these kartals, nice and shiny kartals. I get them polished every year. So these kartals are an instrument. And when I put them in my hands, they play very nicely. So Krishna wants Arjuna to be his instrument in this fight, in this yuddha, this battle of Kurukshetra. Krishna's not forcing Arjuna. He's requesting him, you please be an instrument in the fight, because Krishna gives us minute free will. Krishna does not force us to do anything. We make our choice, and then the modes of nature react accordingly. We will learn more about this in the last 6 chapters of Bhagavad-gita. How the living entity has a choice, which mode of nature to act under, goodness, passion, and ignorance, and then after making that decision, the automatic reaction. So now in this next section of chapter 11, Arjuna will resume his prayers to Krishna's Virata Rupa. Sanjaya uvacha etat shrutva vachanam keshavasya kritanjalir vepamana kariti Namaskritva bhuya evaha Krishnang sa gadang bitak pratamya. Sanjaya said to the blind Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows. Arjuna uvacha sthane rishikesha tava prakirtya jagat parishyat anurajyate cha rakshangsi bitani disho dravanti sarve namasyanti cha siddha sangha. Arjuna prayed, O master of the senses, Rishikesha, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid, and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. So what Arjuna is saying here is confirmed in the first chapter, early in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Fear personified is afraid of even Krishna's name. That's how powerful is this chanting of the Maha Mantra. It makes you fearless. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are devotees. So we take pleasure in chanting Krishna's name. The demons do not take such pleasure. They hate that name of Krishna. They hate the chanting. This was exhibited during the time of Lord Chaitanya. But for devotees, they love this loud chanting of Krishna's name. Kasmachchate nameran mahatman gariyase brahmanopi adikartre ananta devesha jagan nivasa tvam aksharam sad asat tat parangyat. O great one, greater even than Lord Brahma, you are the original creator. Oh, see what Arjuna is saying? Generally, Brahma is credited as being the creator. But Krishna is saying, no, Krishna, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O Ananta, O limitless one, O God of gods, Deva Deva, O refuge of the universe. You are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, and you are transcendental to this material manifestation. Tvam Adi Deva Purusha Puranas, Tvam Asya Vishvasya Parang Nidanam, Vetasi Vedyang Cha Parang Cha Dhamma, Tvayatatang Vishvam Anantarupa. You are the original personality of Godhead. You are the oldest. You are the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge, and you are above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Vayar Yamogniya Varuna Shashanka Prajapati Strang Prapitamahascha Namo Namastestu Sahasrakritva Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste. You are air. You are the supreme controller. You are fire. You are water. And you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature. And you are the great-grandfather. I therefore offer you my respectful obeisances 1,000 times and again and yet again. So such kind of language that is being used here. Arjuna is in ecstasy. When you are in an excited emotional state, then sometimes you repeat yourself. So he's saying here, I want to offer my obeisances 1,000 times again and yet again. Arjuna is in heightened state of ecstasy. Nama purastad ata prishtataste, namostute sarvata eva sarva, ananta viryamita vikramastwang, sarvang sabmapnoshi tatosi sarva. Obeisance to you from the front, from behind, obeisances from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all-pervading. Thus, you are everything. Saketi matva prasabang yad uktang. He Krishna, he Yadava, he Saketi. Ajanata manhimanang tavedang. Maya pramadat pranayena vapi. Yachchava hasartam asatkritosi. Vihara shayasana bhojaneshu. Eko tavapyachuttatat samakshang. Takshamaye tvam aham aprameyam. Thinking of you as my friend, I must have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. So please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. Oh, I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone, and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all these offenses. So this verse, two things here. First, it's revealing how intimate a friend Arjuna is to Krishna. They have done throughout their lives many, 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 many things as hinted here. But now Arjuna is understanding how Krishna is the supreme God. So he's thinking, oh, in the past, as we have an expression, familiarity breeds contempt. So sometimes with our partner or with our friends, sometimes because of familiarity, we overstep certain boundaries. So that's Arjuna's position here. Arjuna is intimate friend of Krishna. They relate to each other as equals, but now Arjuna is understanding, you may have treated me like an equal, but actually, I understand now you are far, far superior. Pitasi lokasya characharasya, tvam asya pujaschak gurur gariyan, natwang samosti abhitikad kutonya, lokaktrayepi apratima prabhava. You are the father of this cosmic manifestation, of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief. You are the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within these three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? So once again, there are many such verses spoken either by Krishna himself or by Arjuna, where it is clear Krishna is the supreme. In Sanskrit, there is a very important word, asama urdhva or asamaudhva. No one is equal to Krishna and no one is greater than Krishna. And in the words of the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ekale Ishwar Krishna Ar Sababhritya. Everyone is Krishna's servant. beginning with Lord Brahma, or Balaram, his first, even Balaram sees himself as Krishna's servant. Even Radharani considers herself Krishna's maidservant. What to speak of all the other demigods, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, everyone is subordinate to Krishna. This is the fundamental teaching of Bhagavad-gita and is also taught in various episodes of Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. There may be many, many Bhagavans. That's all right. But the original, Purna Bhagavan, is Krishna. That we should learn from this Bhagavad-gita. Tasmat pranamya pranidaya kayang prasadaye tvam aham isham idyam piteva putrasya sakeva sakyu priya priyaharhasi deva sodhum. You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances, and I thus ask your mercy. So, notice here, everyone should worship Krishna. Krishna is not just some Hindu god. No. Krishna is the God of all other gods. Everyone should bow down and worship Krishna, whether they be Indian, American, South African, Eskimo, whatever. Every living being should be taught to worship Krishna because he is the Supreme Lord. That is why we distribute this Bhagavad-gita. That is why we go out into the streets and chant the Maha Mantra. We are proclaiming to the world, Krishna is supreme, everyone is Krishna's servant. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, or a friend tolerates the impertinence of a friend, or a wife tolerates the familiarity of her partner, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. So Arjuna, in his ecstasy, is also feeling very meek and humble before this universal form. That is why Lord Chaitanya tells us, constantly wear around your neck for remembrance the mantra I always begin my programs with. Trinadapi sunitena, tarar iva sahishnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. Lord Chaitanya instructs his followers, always, always, always feel yourself meek and humble. Always feel yourself lower than a blade of grass. That is the key to success in life. Adristya purvang rishitos midristva bayena cha pravratitang manome tad eva me darshaya deva rupang prasida devesha jagannivasa. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened. But at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Kiritinang gadinam chakrahastam ichchami tang drastum ahang tataiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishvamurte. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head, with club, wheel, conch shell, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. So that is the Vishnu Narayan form. With the club and with the wheel, Lord Narayan destroys the demons. With the conch and the lotus flower, Krishna benedicts the devotees. So, the next section of this chapter, verses 47 through 51, I entitle, Krishna Appeases Arjuna. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Maya Prasanena Tavarjunedang, Rupang Parang Darshitam Atma Yogat, Tejo Mayang Vishvam Anantam Adyang, Yanme Tvad Anyena Nadrishta Puravam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, which is unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. So several times in this chapter it was mentioned that this universal form was unique. Naveda yagyadayanar nadanayar, na chakriyad bir naptapo bir ugrai, evang rupa shakya ahang nriloke, drashtung twad anyena kuru pravira. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances, can I be seen in this form, in this material world. Mate vyatanma cha vimudda bhavo, drisva rupangoram idring namedam, vyapeta biprita mana punastvang, tad eva me rupam idang prapasya. O Arjuna, you have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now, let it be finished. My devotee, be free once again from all disturbances. Now, with a peaceful mind, you can see the form which you desire. So Prabhupada mentions that this universal form does not evoke love. It evokes the emotions of wonderment and fear, bewilderment. It's not Krishna's loving form. The devotees want to see Krishna in his loving form, his other forms, his Vishnu forms. This universal form actually doesn't exist. There is no universal form. It's simply a display, like a magic trick that Krishna can demonstrate whenever he wants. There is no universal material form. It is a conception for meditation only. Sanjaya Uvacha Ityarjunang Vasudevas Tatokva Svakang Rupang Darshayam Asa Bhuya Ashvasayam Asa Chabitam Enang Bhutva Punak Saumya Vapur Mahatma. Oh, these two words, Saumya Vapu. Oh, what does Saumya Vapu mean? Vapu means form or body. Saumya, beautiful, sweet. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his ultimate two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. So that two-armed form of Krishna, Manasha Rupam, the form as a human being. That is the Somya Vapu, the sweet form. That is the form most desired by devotees who want to develop an intimate, close relationship with God. The Narayan or Vishnu form, that is for devotees who want to worship Krishna with awe, reverence, veneration, just like in South India, there is the temple of Balaji, Venkateshwar, and so many temples in South India where Krishna is manifested in a gigantic, awe-inspiring, reverential form. So that is the Vaikuntha form, where the devotees worship Krishna as the King of Kings with great opulence, with veneration and respect. But the two-handed Krishna form, that is for devotees who want to relate to God intimately. The intimate relationship is one of friendship, parental, and conjugal. They want to relate to Krishna in that way. Arjuna uvacha drisvedang manushang rupang tava saumyang janardana idanim asmi sangvrita sacheta prakritingata. So when Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original two-handed form, Arjuna said, O Janardan, O maintainer of the universe, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. So previously, during this chapter, while seeing the universal form, Arjuna's emotions and consciousness became bewildered, frightful, so awe-inspiring. But now that Krishna has resumed his original human-like form, as he says here, so very beautiful, now Arjuna is in his normal, original nature. The chapter ends with these verses, and I entitle these verses, The Exclusivity of Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sudurdarsham Idang Rupang Dristavan Asiyan Mama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityang Darshana Kangshina. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O my dear Arjuna, this form of mine that you are now seeing is very difficult to behold, for even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is so dear. So, this tells us that the demigods, when they get to see God, they see him in his Vishnu or Narayan form. But the pure devotees, they get to see Krishna in his two-handed human-like form. So, if you are attracted to Krishna's human-like form, then you should understand that you have been blessed by Krishna. You do not become attracted to this human-like form of Krishna unless you have performed austerities and penances for a long time, or you have been specifically blessed by Krishna or one of his devotees, like in my case. Because I came in contact with Srila Prabhupada, then I was blessed to become attracted to this human-like form of Krishna. Nahang Vedair Nat Tapasa Na Dane Nat Nachejaya Shakya Evang Vido Drashtung Dristaban Asimangyata. This form that you are now seeing with transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing severe penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. So this is interesting. Normally, these processes will give you some spiritual realization. But here Krishna is telling, no, if you want to see me in my ultimate form, as human-like form, then you need something else. And here it is, in this next verse. Bhaktya tunanyaya shakya aham evam vidarjuna gyatrum drastung cha tatvena praveshtung cha parantapa. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing now before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So there are 3 direct verses in this Bhagavad-gita which have this word bhakti. If you want to see Krishna as it is, only bhakti, no other way. You want to get near to Krishna, only by bhakti. You want to rejoin Krishna, only by bhakti. That was mentioned in the middle of chapter 8. I also pointed it out there. Here at the end of chapter 11, it's pointed out. And again, towards the end in chapter 18, Krishna will say the same thing. Only by undivided devotional service, bhakti, can you see God as He is. Final verse of the chapter. Mat karma krin mat paramo mad bhakta sangha varjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasamang eti pandava. My dear Arjuna, one who engages in my pure devotional service. So what is pure devotional service? No material tinge, no business dealing with Krishna. It has to be out of love only. The best thing we can explain to understand pure love is the love of the mother has for the child. The mother loves the child unconditionally. There's nothing the mother won't do for the child. So in the same way, the pure devotees love Krishna without any reservation. There is no condition that I will love Krishna if he does this for me. No. This state of pure devotion was taught by Lord Chaitanya in his final Shikshastakam verse, which is actually the words of Srimati Radharani herself. Ashlishyava padaratang pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatam korotuva yatatava vididhatu lampato mat prananatastu sa eva naparaha. That final Shikshastakam verse. And I encourage you, if you want to increase your bhakti, then every day recite the 8 Shikshastakam prayers. There is great benefit from reciting those 8 Shikshastakam prayers. So this final one, Radharani is saying, my dear Lord Krishna, I am your eternal maidservant. Whether you treat me nicely or whether you treat me roughly, whether you are merciful to me or maybe you break my heart, doesn't matter. I have unconditional love for you. This is the highest platform of devotion, because there is no cause, there is no condition. It is unconditional. Radharani plays, I will do anything to satisfy you, my Lord. There is nothing I won't do for you. You can break my heart. You can do so many things. Doesn't change. I'm still your unconditional, motivated servant. Unmotivated servant. Free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation. One who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of one's life, and who is friendly to every living being, certainly comes to me. So here is the price you have to pay to see and rejoin God. You have to come to this platform. Uncontaminated, unmotivated, pure love for Krishna. You have to work for Krishna. It means doing everything that was mentioned in chapter 9. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasya kaunteya tat karushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, Krishna told Arjuna, do it for me. So the life of a pure devotee, everything is done for Krishna. And thus, why? Krishna becomes one's supreme goal of life. Most people, what is their goal of life? Make money, have a family, be happy. But the devotee, his goal or her goal of life is, I will do whatever it takes to get Krishna in this lifetime. The Sanskrit word is laulyam, spiritual greediness, intense greediness. I will do whatever it takes to achieve shelter at Krishna's lotus feet. And then same time, I have to be friendly to everyone. Why? Because Krishna is in everyone's heart. And I have to recognize that Krishna is in everyone's heart. Since we've finished this chapter, we have finished chapter 11. I am now in ecstasy, and I want to sing for you. And then I will answer Deborah's question after this short kirtan. Hang in there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I hope you're all singing along with me. That's the idea. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rakshamam. Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Thank you. So, we have a nice question from Deborah Harris. And her question is, in what stage of Kali Yuga do we find ourselves? And the answer is, beginning. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, in several places, it is directly stated, when did Kali Yuga begin? It began the very day Krishna left this earth and went back to Godhead. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna remained on earth for 125 years, but he did not look older than 16, 20 years old. That's God. As you can see, I'm 70. I look like 70. But when Krishna was 125, he looked like a young, blooming 16-year-old boy. That's God. So we have only passed 5,000 years of Kali Yuga. We still have 427,000 years left. So we can just estimate how bad Kali Yuga is going to get as the years go by. Currently, we are in a grace period, like your credit cards has a grace period. You pay off your bills within a month, no charges. So for the next 10,000 years, beginning 500 years ago with the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, we have entered a grace period of 10,000 years known as the Golden Age. So for devotees, you have 10,000 years to get your act together. Don't keep taking birth again and again, because Kali Yuga is going to get worse and worse and worse. So, Prabhupada instructed us, finish up your business in this lifetime. Become a good devotee chant Hare Krishna, and go back home, back to Godhead at the end of this lifetime. You don't want to come back.